Here we go again. Ready for Rhonda to not be on her best behavior. White's enjoying the brush here. Hello, Janine. Hi, everyone. Good morning, Susan. Hi, Scott. Yeah, I've picked up more rocks and minerals in the last 6 months than the entire rest of my life combined. Yeah, I'm aware of the HW or the H Bush Bush 43. I'll hit that at some point. I don't want to do a whole bunch of presidential museums all at once, but I tried hitting that one. I don't know, a year and a half ago, and it was closed for COVID. So drove all the way down and didn't even do my research to see if it was open. Kind of disappointing, but it's a great library. There's a lot of great stuff in there. You'll have to stay tuned for the next video. I shot so much stuff that the battery on the camera died. Last few scenes of the second video are actually had to shoot on the cell phone. I'm actually kind of surprised the Bush 43 Museum isn't like in Waco or in someplace like that. Because I mean, he just lives in Crawford, which is 15, 20 miles from here. Yeah, you like that crystal? That's this one here. This is one of my recent acquisitions. I've wanted one of these for a long time. Well, basically, I mean, I've been aware of them for a long time, but this one I've been looking at in the store for quite a while. Very cool. It's also really fragile, so I got to be careful handling it. I didn't collect any rocks from Spawn Ranch. I wish I had actually. I do have some rocks that I got that I picked up when Jordan and I went to Neverland to Michael Jackson's house. Yeah, it's funny that little rock and mineral show really got me going again. I've always kind of been interested in rocks. I mean, I remember collecting rocks when I was a kid. But I'm going and visiting that rock and mineral shop, the Gallery 11 place, every 2 weeks. You can hear Nibble in the background meowing. Yeah, what I brought back from Spawn Ranch is I found a piece of wire fence, which is part of the corrals from that. Because you remember, Spawn Ranch was a movie ranch. They shot movies in the area. Yeah, there was a lot of great stuff. I've been to a few presidential libraries, and that was a good one. As I mentioned in the first video, I'd been to the Reagan Ranch a couple times. I'd been to um, the Nixon Library because that was literally walking distance from where I used to live in California. And I went with Jordan to the LBJ Museum in Austin. Texting with a girlfriend, huh? No, I haven't been to the Stockyard Museum. Where is that? Museum of Fear. Sounds like fun. Where am I? I'm at home in Waco. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's a great movie. Yeah, they some of the scenes were set at Spawn Ranch. It wasn't actually at Spawn Ranch. I think what Jordan discovered when he did his video at Spawn Ranch was the ranch itself is owned by a church, and they basically don't want to have anything to, want anything having anything to do with it. So they just basically leave it an empty plot of land, and they won't let people film there. They don't want people building on it. You go see the new Barbie movie, huh? Yes, yeah. Seeing Spawn Ranch was all the more weird because I've been there. That was definitely one of the more interesting places I went with Jordan, and I went to a lot of really cool places with him. Hello, Elvis. Elvis is in the house. I don't know. I don't really get creepy feelings around places where horrible things happened or that were attached to horrible things. But it was very fascinating, especially waking our way down behind the ranch into the area where the Mansons hung out, and finding some of the places where there's famous photographs and stuff like that. That cave was amazing. Finding those two trees where that photo was shot. I keep hearing Nibble back there. She's usually pretty quiet. I have a lot of favorites of places I went with Jordan. Okay, the Museum of Fear is in Grand Prairie, Texas. I still don't know where everything is in Texas here, and I just dropped my cell phone. It's a good way of breaking it. That's how I broke my last one, is by dropping it. Hang on a second, let me figure out where this is here. Ah, it's always just that reach, isn't it? I'm kind of set up for vlogging here, and I'm kind of surrounded on all sides. Got a TV tray over here for holding stuff. I got a TV tray over here for holding stuff. Let's see. I've at least heard of Grand Prairie, Texas. So that's encouraging. Get all the gunk off of it here. Grand Prairie, Texas. Okay, so it's sort of up by between Dallas and Fort Worth. Might be something worth looking up. Yeah, yeah. One of them got let out of jail. I think she is out. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, I try and get a T-shirt from every place I go. You know, it's just a kind of a fun memory. I've been to a few of the Ripley's, believe it or not. So they're pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, they do. They do that. I know that the house where the where Sharon Tate and Abigail Folger and Jay Sebring were murdered. That house has a different address now. That's a perfect example of that. Okay, that's just ice on the side here. Yeah, I've been to, like I said, I've been to a couple of the Ripley's, believe it or not. There was one in LA that Jordan and I went and visited. I think that was before he was vlogging, because yeah, it was definitely before he was vlogging. Vasquez Rocks, that was a fun one. Yeah, I like that one too. And Whiskey Pete's, yeah, that was fun. The ones I really enjoyed. We did a couple of Wayne's World videos where we went to the guitar store where Wayne was obsessed with that guitar, and we went to the Stan Mikita's Donut Shop. It isn't even that anymore. They've completely remodeled that place. I don't know. I think if I bought a place that a movie had been shot like that, I think I'd probably try and leave it as much as the same as much as possible. Yeah, I'm back to my vodka again, Charlotte. How's my mom doing? Why don't you send a text here? Let's look at the text here. It's hot, 107 this week. Yeah, she's staying inside a lot, watching TV, I guess, and reading. Yeah, that's what she's doing. She appreciates all your thoughts and prayers from when she was in the hospital, but she's definitely home. She's been home for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks now and seems to be doing fine. Yeah, we did a watermelon fest too. That was kind of fun. They were giving away free watermelon. I remember Jordan isn't a watermelon fan, so he didn't really eat any of the raw watermelon. But you just there was just a window you could walk up to, and they just give you free watermelon. And I remember coming back, and it was like a probably a 1 inch slice of it, and it was like half of a circle, and probably 1 inch thick. And I remember coming back holding it like this, with the and as Jordan came up, and that ended up being the um, that ended up being his cover photo for the thing. I kind of figured you might do that because that was kind of a goofy picture. When you dehydrate watermelon, does it just become melon? I do want to go see the Alamo at some point too. Yeah, I'll hit the Bush 43 Museum at some point. Where is JFK's? I don't even know. Yeah, yeah, I've done. It's called Silo of Screams, and I've done it for the last what 3 or 4 years. Basically, every year since I've been here. Tastes like cotton candy, huh? Okay, it'd be funny to see highlights of my favorite videos. Yeah, that might be. Maybe I'll do a clip show someday. I know I'm starting to collect a blooper reel, so I'll do a blooper clip show at some point. It's in Boston, huh? Okay. That might be a little far for a road trip. Yeah, I got to get more. I got to get more content. I only got like 3 or 4 clips, but there will be a blooper reel at some point. Haven't been in the pool this weekend, but I was in the pool last weekend a few times. It's a really nice time to be in the pool here because it's really, really hot here. I mean, we had a cold front come through yesterday and it dropped the temperature to 98. Yeah, rest in peace, Tony Bennett. I can sleep in Logan's bed, huh? I don't know. I'm 6'4", Logan. I might not fit in your bed. I've been to the Salem Witch Museum in Salem. I was at a in a trade show in the end of October, oh, probably 15, 20 years ago when I worked in the CD factory. And somebody I was talking to said, I said, well, I'm going to be there over Halloween. She said, you got to go to Salem, Massachusetts. And I said, oh man, that's a great idea. So I went to Salem, Massachusetts on Halloween. That place was awesome. I had a great time. And yes, I would definitely vlog that if I could go. That's a long trip though. No, I'm going to break some news to you. I'm probably not going to be able to do silo anymore. The work is changing so much. I can't get there anymore. I don't think. I haven't even told um, the owner yet. But yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to do it anymore. I'm just the overtime at work is so much now. In order for me to do it, I get off of work at 7:30. It starts at 8 o'clock, and it's about a 30-minute drive there. I haven't gotten off at 7:30 in the last month or month and a half, and there's no indication that that's slowing down. In fact, it's probably only going to increase. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do silo anymore. I'm sad because I like doing that, but you know, it's uh, it's just one of those things. Yeah, I think I saw something about the second oldest continuously burning light bulb. I think I saw that on um, Roadside America. That would be kind of fun to see too. Got a new bike last week, huh? Is that a new motorcycle or just a bike? Motorcycle. Okay, yeah, I know you guys are big time into motorcycle. I thought the Nixon Library was great. It's built right on the property where Richard Nixon was born. The house that he was born in and grew up in is on the property. His grave is there. I think they have one of the Marine One helicopters on property. There's a lot of great stuff. If you're going to learn how to drive it, that's probably a good thing to do if you have a motorcycle is to learn how to ride it. That's something I'd like to do sometime too. I guess Jordan bought a motorcycle a year or so ago, and it'd be fun to kind of go and ride with him. Good morning, Connie. How are you? I like it when I put the water in the freezer for about 15 minutes before I start the vlog or start the live stream, because then it stays cold for a while, and for a little while right at the beginning, um, there's actually ice crystals in it. Toxic Twins took out your glasses. That's awesome. These guys are too old to take out anything. Although this funny little toy that I bought them like a year and a half ago, they've actually started playing with it now, or at least this one has. It's a little spinner thing. It's kind of got a little round bottom, weighted bottom, and then there's like a little stick with a feather on it. And when somebody touches it, it starts spinning and moving around. And last week or so, I keep hearing them play with it at night. Yeah, meow to YouTube height. Yeah, I'd have to read up on that light bulb a little bit and learn a little bit of a story, because I don't know if I was going and say, hey, this is a light bulb. It's been burning for a long time. I'd have to learn a little bit more about it, what it was made out of, why they think it's so it's been on so long, and what do they do about power failures? The cats really didn't know what to make of Flash. I mean, they haven't really interacted that much. They were more aware of Flash, I think, in California, because the front door in my house in California actually went into the backyard. I didn't have a front door that went to the front of the house in the front yard. And so I had like a screen door on it, and I'd often leave the screen door, closed, but the main door open. The cats like to sit on the ground and look out the door, and Flash would walk back and forth. They'd see him. Yeah, I don't know enough about motorcycles. I don't remember exactly which one it was he got. Seemed like a nice bike though. Saw Flash this morning. She went into her winter house last night to sleep. That's the first time I've seen her actually go in there on her own. She spent the night in there. All right, it's a Honda. Yeah, I thought it was a Honda or something. Saw a little movement outside. There was a hummingbird out there checking out one of my bushes. I don't see a whole lot of hummingbirds here. Oh, Elvis is going to get a motorcycle. Yeah, I heard about the new theme park in Oklahoma. That's just the next state up. That might be something that might be worth a visit sometime, if and when they get it going. I haven't really seen a movie in a long time in the theaters. Yeah, you got to be careful with motorcycles. You know, people don't see you, so you have to watch out for people. Haven't really seen a whole lot of difference with the wildlife because of the heat. I'm keeping the bird feeder filled all the time so that there's water out there for them. But I mean, the heat wave, it's 10 degrees warmer than normal. It's usually in the 90s in the summer here. So it'd be a nice place to go biking. I wouldn't want to be out there right now on it, though. It's way too hot. Although maybe on a motorcycle, it isn't as bad. It's not fun picking gravel. See, that would be the problem too. You'd have to, you know, what do they say? Dress for the slide, not the ride. What is the temp now? Let's see. Does it say here? It says 87. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. It says that on the computer here. Hang on, I'll get you actual real information here. Go see. Find out for you here. I was outside right before the live stream, and it was pretty warm out there. Thermometer says 94. That sounds more reasonable. There's no way it's 87. No, of course, now it's saying 89. Okay, let's get back here into place. 27, that's Celsius, of course. Hang on, let me do the conversion here. Let's Oh, that's 80 degrees. That's nice. Yeah, I remember hearing about Treat Williams dying in a motorcycle crash. Yeah, well, that's okay. I'm in terms of metric or what they call imperial in the rest for the rest of the world. Um, I'm kind of bilingual because I've sort of been in an engineering field for a long time, and so a lot of places use the metric system. So in when I made CDs for years, everything was metric. The humidity is nuts, so huh? Yeah, they're saying the humidity is supposed to be pretty low here today, but the humidity will build up again by the end of the week. I can deal with the heat if I'm only out in it a little bit. What's on the menu today? I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. I still have some of that instant pot chili that I made a few weeks ago. I made, I think I doubled the recipe on that and put a lot of it in the freezer. So I've got that out of the freezer. The dogs refuse to go outside when it's hot. Yeah, Jaw's the same way when it rains. He will not go outside no matter how much he has to go to the bathroom. He will not go outside if it's raining. So I don't know how Jordan deals with that. Hey, Eric. Yeah, the humidity here can be pretty. Yeah, the humidity here can be pretty intense too. The lake seems to be still really low, but they don't seem to be as concerned about the water rationing as they were last year. I don't know. Maybe that will proceed as the summer goes by. But last time I was down there was when I went down there looking for rocks that one night, and the water was still low. It's funny when I worked my way down your way, VNA, last week when I went to the Bush Library. It was actually cooler down in the more south I moved than it was here. I guess probably what ends up happening is the closer you get to the ocean, or well, the Gulf, I guess technically, the cooler it gets. I see boats out there. There's not a whole lot of boating going on out there, but I do see some boats out on the lake. Would I ever consider getting a boat? I mean, maybe. It's not high on my list. I have a stand-up paddleboard that I got a few years ago when Jordan was into that, and I still haven't used it here in Texas. It's just in the bag. Yeah, my dad had a sailboat too. At one point, he kind of got to the point where he wasn't using it that much, and so he gave it away. He initially asked me if I wanted it, but I wasn't really into the sailing into things. He liked the sailing more. If I was going to get a boat, I'd get a motorboat. Get a motorcycle, slap the board on the back, and hit the water. They did part of the AC. They recharged the Freon, but they got to come back and do the rest of it. I couldn't afford what they wanted to do. They wanted like more than $1,000, and it's like I couldn't do that at the time. My mom isn't loving the heat. Yeah, she's not a fan. Apparently, everybody there is just kind of staying in the house. She said something about it being 107, I think. Yeah, 107. Yikes, that's too hot. Actually, I can't really say too much about that because it's been sort of like that here too. I think supposed to be back to 107 by the end of the week. But I got the AC running, and I got the pool to hop in. Even if the AC fails, I got the pool. So yeah, I agree. That was one of the things that was the one unconditional thing about finding a job in Texas. It had to be inside. I had an outdoor job when I was at Disney, and it was fine there because it was nicer weather. It was cool to be out, but for the most part, but not here. I don't. The extremes on both ends are a problem because it gets really cold and it gets really hot. Yeah, I've done that too. Used a carpet cleaner. I When I was selling my house in California, the day the house was due to be shown, I had a failure on the toilet in the master bedroom, and I didn't realize that for an hour that water was pouring into the bathroom and into the carpet, and a couple hours before I'm due to show the house, the carpet in the bathroom is completely soaked. So I was in there with a shop vac in the bathroom part that was tiled, and I had to use the and had to use the carpet vac or the carpet cleaner to dry the carpet out. You had a power failure at the store. Oh, that's no good. $500,000 of the food tossed. Yikes. Yeah, I'm the same way. There's a lot of road construction going on around Waco, and I feel so sorry for those people. I can't imagine that. And you remember the first summer I was in here, I had the problem with the sewer line, and they had to tunnel under the house. I felt so sorry. In the middle of the summer, those guys had to get out there and do a 30-foot tunnel underneath the house, big enough for a person to get in. Chipping through all that limestone. I can't imagine that. Yeah, we've had a few power failures here. We had one on the 4th of July this year. I came back from doing that live stream where I did the parade in Woodway, and I got back and was here for about an hour, and the power went out, and it was out for a couple hours. Yeah, no basements here. It would be fun to have one, I'll admit. I'd probably do all my woodworking down in the basement. Treat time at the Sears Zoo. I guess it's treat time here then too. You want a treat bite? I hear nibble too. I think she's coming. Yep, there's Nibble peering around the corner. One little orange face right there. And missed. Got that one, dude. I got to do it overhand, none of the side hand or backhand stuff. I always end up hitting the wall like right here rather than having to go down the hall. Let's see if we can arc this one over bite here. Nope, landed right in front of him. Got that one there, though. That one hit the wall and went around the corner. Best way to make sure everyone gets a few, though, is to do the cluster bomb approach here. Take a handful of them, then everybody gets some. Right now, Bite hasn't figured out that about 80% of them went down the hall. So Nibble's getting her more than her fair share. Yeah, Bite's ever the gentleman here. Get out of here, that's my treat. Nibble found one that Bite missed. Good for you, Nibble. And there we go, Nibble has left the building. All right, back to me. You got a coyote in your backyard. I've thought about getting a rabbit, but I want it to be able to run loose in the yard, and there's too many hawks and stuff like that in the area. Pool party at my place, and Rhonda's gonna cook, huh? Yeah, well, we'll probably start right after the live stream here. I had a rabbit when I was a kid that would actually use a litter box. Lindex is bringing the meat. All right. Have the cats ever been separated for a long time? No, not really. I mean, when I flew them here from California, they wouldn't let them travel together in a large cat carrier. I had to get two small cat carriers, and so they were separated then. But I think I'm hoping they kind of kept them close to each other so they could at least see each other. But no, they've never been separated from each other, not for any extended period of time. When I've had to board them for one reason or another. You remember right before I sold the house, I had to tent the house for termites, and I boarded them for a couple nights at one of the local boarding places. And um, even then, I insisted, you gotta kennel them together. How long did the rabbit live? I had it for a while. I don't remember exactly, but it was a few years. I got it when I worked at a vet, and somebody brought it in, didn't want it anymore, and wanted us to put it to sleep. And it was a perfectly good rabbit. It was a beautiful rabbit, white, big, giant white rabbit with pink eyes. And I said nuts to that, and I brought it home and I kept him. And he lived in the backyard for a while, and like I said, I got him trained to use a litter box. So Elvis is bringing an appetite. Tracy's bringing the music. Okay, there we go. Twins can't be apart at all. Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember how long I had the rabbit, but he was a beautiful rabbit. We couldn't let him run the yard though, because my mom had all sorts of plants that she liked, and the rabbit would eat the plants. Hi, Jessica. You're with us today? That's good. I didn't know you were home. More vodka. Jessica's been home for a couple days. All right. That's always fun. You know, that's the only reason I do this is to make Charlotte and Logan laugh. Yeah, that's what I figured at the vodka comment. I drink way too much vodka, Charlotte. Yeah, that COVID stuff hit people really hard. It's funny, to my knowledge, I've never had it. You know, they say there's people that have it that are asymptomatic, but if I had it, it wasn't serious. It wasn't something I wasn't even aware. Oh yeah, the if I had this much vodka, I wouldn't make it through half of that. You know, the end of the live stream would be me sleeping. Whenever you start feeling sick, you were convinced you had it. Yeah, I think a lot of people were. I have squirrels in my backyard that I feed. They're getting a lot more tame, but they won't eat out of my hand yet. Switch to rum. Yeah, maybe not. The truth is there isn't a whole lot of hard liquor that I drink straight up. The garden's doing its thing. I'm getting some jalapenos already. I made some more salsa this past weekend, and it included some of my homegrown peppers in it. Um, I don't know if the broccoli and Brussels sprouts is going to do anything. Neither of the plants are doing very well. And I've told you before, I have like a tomato plant that just kind of grew up in the yard and in that same bed, and I got it staked up, and that's growing really well. I've been watering it a lot, so Yeah, I'm kind of trying to water everything every night. One of the things I want to do, uh, you remember that little section in the back area there where I originally put the palm trees that it just used to be grass back there. And I kind of built like a quarter circle back there, built it up and put some stuff back there. I got to kind of, I think, expand the sprinkler system a little bit because all that's really back there is a head that's kind of designed for the grass area. It just kind of shoots a big stream out there that kind of sweeps back and forth, and it doesn't really get enough water out there. So I think what lately I've got just like a little portable thing that hooks up to the hose that I get out there and water it with. But I think I want to expand on the sprinkler head out there and tap off that, see if I can expand it a little bit and put a couple of actual uh, shower heads out there to water that area better. I showed the garden a little bit early on. I haven't really shown it recently. Like I said, the jalapeno, the pepper plants are doing well. No, I've never made jalapeno poppers. Yeah, no, I was never a wine drinker. Not my thing. Yeah, I'd take some tomatoes too. The plant I have is doing well, but it hasn't produced anything yet. Hey, bye. You gonna come up and visit? I still have the brush. See, there's the brush bite. Yeah, now I got his attention. There he is. Well, that's what I like about peppers when they're spicy. I bought some really spicy varieties. Now they're spicy. I bought some really spicy varieties. Now, the only thing that's produced so far has been the jalapenos. The ghost peppers and the scorpion peppers haven't produced anything yet. Haven't seen the new um, haven't seen the new Indiana Jones movie. But yeah, that's my glowing skull here, made out of polycarbonate. Give you a little profile view here. Well, how about that? There we go. We'll go into profile mode. Yeah, if you have a good recipe for jalapeno poppers, I'd love to see that. I don't know if I've ever had cheese curds. I've never been to a rodeo. It would be fun to see. Supposedly, there's been a couple of them um, at the Waco Fair, but I've never been there when they had it. So, It might be something like that. Yeah, I might not have enough nutrients in the soil. That's something I'll have to experiment with one of these times. Yeah, a lot of you found me through Jordan. I wouldn't even be doing this if it wasn't for him. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people rag on the indie movie. Just another woke movie. Yeah, Route 66 was great. I guess technically it still is. It's a great series. I met Adam once. Jordan was gonna go to a taco truck with Adam. I was at his house at one time, and it was him and Carpetbagger and Jordan. So yeah, I got to meet him once. Seems like a really nice guy. Yeah, Jordan has the ability to find really great places to visit. Yeah, that's kind of my thought too, Tracy. I like to I want to be entertained. I don't want to be preachy when I go to a movie. I've heard some of the same things about the Barbie movie. Just a bunch of male bashing, and but there was a battleship movie, huh? Yeah, I've heard a lot of people bashing the movie. I admired Tony Bennett's talent. He had an amazing voice, but I guess I have to say I haven't really followed him that much. I think the most I'm aware of Tony Bennett really was when he did a little. He was on. Yeah, I think you're right, Rhonda. I would probably not have gone to the Barbie movie anyway because it doesn't seem like something I'd be interested in, especially considering I don't go to movies that much anyway. A lot of times, a lot of these movies are they're just trying to cash in on the popularity of something. I mean, by the same token, I wouldn't go see a Hot Wheels movie either. Best concerts you ever been to were Tony Bennett. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, he had an amazing voice. Yeah, I remember drive-ins as a kid too. We used to do that too. We'd take, we'd all wear, my sister and I wear our pajamas and we'd go to the movie and watch the movie and then, be asleep halfway through it. I've thought for a long time that there's such a kind of a retro an interest in retro things these days that somebody ought to open a drive-in theater. It should be easier now to do the audio because you could do it all wireless via the cell phone and have it Bluetooth into people's cars, so you wouldn't have to have that little speaker box on the window. Yeah, it's all over car radio now. But see, if they're doing it radio, it's still radio waves, and the problem with uh, low wattage transmission is the possibility of a bad signal. If you gave somebody like a network password or a website when they came onto the thing, they could plug their phone into the cigarette outlet, get digital sound, blow it through the Bluetooth speakers into the speaker in the car. You know, it'd be awesome. Because I mean, everyone's got a smartphone that can do Bluetooth now. You grew up behind a drive-in and would sneak in. Yeah. Well, Bluetooth headphones would work too. I mean, unless there's more in the car, that kind of ruins things. But you know, my car has Bluetooth capability. I've got my block rocker back there that has Bluetooth capability. I have a little portable speaker that has Bluetooth capability. There's all sorts of options. I just think that there'd be like, be a retro thing going to a movie theater. 20 bucks for a carload. Yeah, see? And for people that don't have it, they could have the little speaker that hangs on the windshield if you want, or hangs on the window. A few places in the theater where they got those, that's what you need. But most people would go with the Bluetooth option, I think. Yeah, the strike has stopped filming basically everywhere. Yeah, the concession stands are often really expensive. That is kind of a drag. One down. By the way, he's still here, wiping his nose on my hand. Gross, dude. You don't want a wet nose. Stop licking it. Flash loves the heat. Yeah, you gotta remember, her species is kind of native to this area. So while it's a little bit of a change for her, she seems to do fine in it. When it gets too hot, she just finds some place to cool off. That's what sort of what that cave thing was all about, was giving her a place to escape the heat. And every once in a while, I'll get out there and hose her off, and that cools her off a little bit. Yeah, if it gets too cold outside, Flash kind of goes into kind of a semi hibernation mode. Well, I'm gonna have to see what the job does in the next few months. There's some interesting things brewing for me at work. I'm not going to say anything yet, but there's some good opportunities that are kind of flying around right now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next weeks and months. Very possibly, Gene. Very possibly. Yeah, I use the trailer periodically. Whenever I've gotten plants for the yard, I use the trailer for that. Sometimes with some of my bigger projects, woodworking projects or something like that, I'll use the trailer for that. The trailer is being used, and it's already begun. It's already saved me some money. It hasn't paid for itself yet, but it saves me time because certain things I had to take multiple trips to get home, and now I can do things in one trip, and that's definitely a lot easier. And you remember when I got the new dresser for my bedroom? Originally, it was supposed to be delivered, but they had to delay the delivery because the truck wasn't available. And so I said, you know what? I got a new trailer I've been dying to try. If you have it here, I'll just come pick it up. I said, yeah, it's here. I said, great, I'll get the trailer. And when I did that, I ended up saving money. So because they were going to charge me for the delivery, if I picked it up myself, didn't have to worry about that. But when I've gone to Home Depot and gotten soil for the yard or something like that, then that's I can only put so much soil in the trunk of the car, but I can do it all in one trip with the trailer. So yeah, I'm using it. It's definitely worth the dough. I'm glad I have it. Will the potential position affect Sunday live streams? Unsure at this point. Probably not, because my hours or my work days will still be, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and every other Wednesdays. So I should be home on Sundays. It's funny how getting a trailer almost requires you to buy more stuff. I haven't had that problem. Yeah, there we go. We got to get Tracy to have her own live streams here. You got a channel now. It's time to branch out. Yeah, we try and promote Tracy's channel. She won't say anything. There she is. No, I think I was live streaming before I had 1,000 subscribers. You just need 1,000 subscribers before you can monetize. Because I think I did my first live stream before, not long after I moved into the apartment. It's bolted to the ground. They drove bolts to the slab, and it's very securely attached to the ground. It's not going anywhere. The rest of the house may be gone, but the shelter will be there. Don't be scared. I mean, you do it a few times, you get more comfortable with it. You watch my first videos. Like I had this serious deer in the headlights look. It's like you could tell by watching me that I was uncomfortable doing that. I've never really liked the sound of my voice or my image or anything like that in video or stuff like that. But you get used to it. Yeah. Now look at him. I mean, in reality, I don't really think about the fact that I'm doing a live stream. I'm just talking to friends. Yeah, see, there's some positive feedback, Tracy. You're doing fine. Crazy friends. What other kinds are there? Well, I mean, I got about 200 of these live streams up now. So, I mean, it just gets to the point you just like, you don't really think about it. We all know who the craziest is of all. Yeah, it's me. I'm the one sitting here talking to my computer. How crazy is that? Yeah, just keep doing it, Tracy. You'll feel more comfortable with it. You'll be an old hat at no time. You know, I got 900 videos, more than 900 videos, a couple hundred live streams. You know, it's like riding a bike. It's a little different from talking to friends because I'm talking to people I've never met, but you know, I kind of feel like I know you. The funny thing is, you'd recognize me if you walked past me on the street, but I probably wouldn't recognize any of you because I've never seen any. I just know your name. Tracy had to point out to me a while back that she's Tracy Roth-Myers, you know, because I just see names on the screen. Yeah, a lot of you have been here for forever. You know, I've been doing this for more than 4 years now. That's crazy. You know, back in February, it was the anniversary of my first vlog. Back in May, it was fourth anniversary of me moving here, and earlier this month was the third anniversary of moving into the house. That's true. I would recognize Logan because I've seen a picture of her. Charlotte too, and Rhonda too. Yeah, my mom called in a week or two ago. I don't think it was last week. She tried multiple times, but my phone wasn't working. But I got the new phone; it's working now, and so she called in. I remember when I started too. Logan says I'm unmistakable. No doubt. Yeah, I think I've seen a couple photos of DNA too, so I probably recognize her. I think Rhonda sent a couple pictures, so I probably recognize her. Yeah, that's sort of what the how the vlog started. Because the first video was just me introducing myself and saying that you know I've worked at Disney for a while. I'm going to leave the company. I'm going to sell my house and move to Texas, and it just kind of started from there. Yeah, you sent a couple pictures in the past of all your Barbies, so I think we'd recognize that. I've been very happy with Pure Talk. They've done very good by me. In fact, just a month or well, no, even not even a month, about a week or two ago, they basically upped everyone's plan for free. They gave you half again as much data and uh, and a free Wi-Fi hotspot. Just just sent you an email. It's like that's part of your plan. You don't need to do anything for it. It's free. And it didn't affect me because I have an unlimited data plan on this, so you can't give you 1.5 times unlimited data. But I got the free wireless hotspot and massive amount of data. I think 200 megabytes or 200 gigabytes or something like that of wireless hotspot. So what I can do, for instance, if the internet's down, I can turn this into a mobile router and sync off of that. In fact, one of these days, I'm going to probably do an experiment. I want to see if I could live stream, syncing to this thing. The problem with the old phone and the 4G is there just wasn't enough bandwidth to handle uh, a high def live stream like I'm doing right now. But maybe with the 5G, I can. That would definitely simplify things when I do that live stream of the solar eclipse next year. If I could just tether off of this thing rather than that having to be tied to the wireless router. See, the concern I have with the total eclipse next April, I think it is April isn't always clear sky weather, and so I might have to go somewhere and in order to get clear skies and see that. And like I said before, I want to live stream the whole thing if I can. I'm going to get that solar telescope I have out there. We're going to attach the cell phone to it and try and live stream off of that. I would hope that any of you, if we ever ran into each other in person, that you'd identify yourself. To date, I've only had two people come up to me ever who said, "Oh yeah, I know you. I've seen your live streams or I've seen your videos." It's funny. One of them was somebody who recognized me in a Home Depot when I was still in California and still had like 10 or 15 subscribers. He says, "Oh yeah, I subscribed to your channel." It's like, really? That's cool. I think he knew me from Jordan's videos and probably stumbled on me the way the rest of you have. And then another one, I was at the fair a year or two ago, and somebody pulled me aside and say, "Hey, I watched your videos." It's like they even put them on camera. Yeah, I would love to meet the girls, Rhonda. Love to meet all of you. Well, it wouldn't be a mystery if Logan ran up to me because I at least know what Logan looks like. Had to restring Logan's bat. That's funny. I think that might be the reason he's kind of reduced the live streams. Is there's just so many people in there. The comments are zipping by so fast. He can only catch a few of them. That's why I kind of enjoy these because I get to read almost every comment, and I'll talk to just about anybody. So you all have an opportunity to get in the comment in there, and getting to ask your questions and getting me to answer things. And we get to talk to Eric about cleaning his room. If you're gonna have a girlfriend, you got to clean your room, Eric. It's just the way it works. Unless you have a girlfriend that doesn't clean her room, and then maybe it's okay. In that case, you're probably perfect for each other. So far as I know, only one of my coworkers is aware of the channel. Well, I think the reason that is because we have conversations every week. You know me more, I think, because I let you a little bit more into my life. You know, uh, Not a knock on Jordan or anything, but my vlog is more a traditional definition of a vlog. It's a journal of what's going on in my life. Jordan is taking you interesting places and showing you interesting things, but he kind of separates his private life with his public life. Yeah, and I think that's probably part of the issue, Jordan, with Jordan is there's too many people there, and nobody, you can't really get into, you can't really get through all the noise. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm at least aware of the movie Oppenheimer. Most movies that come out today, I'm not even aware of because I just don't follow that stuff anymore. Charlotte likes Jordan's girlfriend. Jordan's girlfriend seems nice. He's always been an entertainer. The entire time I've known him, he's been moving from one thing to another, trying to find a way to entertain people. He was a musician, he was an actor, now he's a vlogger. And I'm really happy for his success. He's found something, he's found a niche that's, he's been able to be very successful at, and I'm happy for him. And I would say it's Jordan saying back off. It's just, you know, he's got he kind of goes in a different direction. His channel is about showing you interesting things. Mine is just letting you know what's going on in my world. He does like being in the public eye, but he also likes his privacy, and so he only lets you in so far. It is his job, but like to say, if you have a job that you love, you never work a day in your life. And I think he loves what he does. So yeah, the JFK vlogs and the Logan's Run movie locations. Those are among my most popular vlogs. In fact, Jordan sent me a text the other night congratulating me on how well the Logan's Run vlog is doing, and I said, "Yeah, two other filming locations that I'm thinking of doing because because of the success of that one. And I told him the movies I'm thinking of. He says those will both be good. So I don't know. We may do those sooner rather than later. One of the things is after a while, when you live in a small town, you've kind of covered everything in the small town. You start having to drive further and further. That's what sort of brought up the George Bush Museum. That's a 100-mile drive from here to get down to College Station. But the JFK video, the three-part series, that's made $700 or $800 between those three videos, and the Logan's Run, that's made a fair amount of money too. So it's this whole thing isn't about money with me, but it is nice to get some. Yeah, and that's the reason I don't really say specifically where I live too. I've heard the song. I mean, I'm not a country music fan, but I think that they're overreacting, calling it a pro lynching song. That's crazy. I probably wouldn't do a Dallas TV series one because Jordan's already done that. I don't want to sit there and reinvent the wheel. I like the message of the song. Yeah, yeah, I get ad revenue from the videos. So when you watch a video and those ads come up, yeah, I get paid from that. It's not a lot. There were 15 seasons of Dallas. Wow, I didn't remember it being on that long. I remember it was a big show. I watched it a little bit, but I was never that much into it. I love living in a small town. I mean, and Waco isn't really a small town. It's a medium-sized town. There's what 100,000 people or something like that. It isn't huge. I've said it before. What I like about Waco is it's small enough to have kind of a small town feel, but big enough to have everything you need. There's some small towns that are so small, it's like, there's nothing there. Finally get rid of some of that radioactive soil, huh? I still find that bizarre that's the situation there. Now, Waco's been the perfect place to me. I love it here. Get your projector set up in your room. All right, that's cool. How big of an image can you produce for that? Can you do cover a whole wall? 100-inch screen. Okay, there you go. I got a little projector that I use for Halloween to project ghostly images on one of my windows. Is there anything I miss about living in a big city like in California? I'll admit when I went back there last year, one of the things I really liked about the one thing I kind of missed is one day when I was down in Southern California, Beth's father took me to a couple of places just to kind of show me around. We saw the Freedom Bell and the battleship. And at the Freedom Bell, it was right near the ocean. I remember smelling the ocean breeze, and it's like that took me back. But beyond that, no. In terms of the people, no, not for a second. I am so glad I got out of there. There's too many people, and they're just too angry and bitter and rude. The people there aren't as many people here, and they're just so much nicer. I don't know what it is. You know, I drive by people on the street they don't even know, and they wave at you. You know, they'd wave at you in California, but they only have one finger up. Yeah, I'm surprised some of the things you find at Goodwill. Like I said, the projector thing I got, came from Home Depot. And it was designed specifically for projecting ghostly images and stuff like that for Halloween. I can do a Christmas too. It's got some built-in stuff, but I never was really happy with the built-in stuff. The built-in stuff was kind of tame. But one of the neat things about it is you can plug just a little thumb drive into it. And so I produced some videos that I found, online, and took bits and pieces of videos and made my own video. And I got like about a 20-minute loop video of ghosts and stuff like that. That's really kind of scary looking stuff. It looks great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with California that couldn't be solved by removing all the people. I think removing all the politicians could improve people's lives in most cases, not just in California. Yeah, moving to another planet, that's fine. And the lawyers, yes, absolutely, the lawyers. Yeah, I'm with you, Elvis. Term limits for everything, including judges. I think one of the biggest problems, and it happens on both sides, is that politicians they're supposed to be there to represent us, but after a while, you learn how to game the system, and it all becomes about you. You know, if you had term limits that encourage you to get in there, do what you think you needs to be done, and get back out. The other advantage to term limits would be that it would force these people to consider it's like, okay, someday I'm going to have to go back and live in this world. Do I really want to live in the world that I want to transform it into? When you're spend your entire life in politics and you're isolated from what you do to the rest of the world. There are no real odd questions. What was my favorite cartoon? I love Tom and Jerry. I assume by no stock trading, you're talking about politicians. Because I mean, stock trading is a good thing. But if you're in politics and you're influencing your stock buying decisions, like a certain former Speaker of the House has been doing, then that's an issue. Well, in reality, the term limits thing for the president only came after FDR. Because you remember, FDR served 4 terms. There was no term limits at the time, but I think it's one of those things that we need to seriously consider. Yeah, I agree. It should be across all elected offices, at least at the federal level. But I could see it at the local level too. It'd be worth it to get rid of some of the congressmen and senators I do like if we get rid of some of the ones I'm not into. In the U.S. too, there's something else I would do uh, to help restore our system, get it back to where it should be. One of the worst constitutional amendments of all time was the 17th Amendment, and I would abolish that one. Sorry, Rhonda. All right, well, I silenced that crowd. My mom's doing well. She's not enjoying the heat that much. Apparently, everybody, it's supposed to be, I guess it was 107 yesterday there. So everyone's basically just staying in their apartments. Yeah, exactly. It allows for the election of state senators because when When the Constitution of the United States, we're going to go into civics here a little bit. When the Constitution of the United States was written, there was supposed to be no real power at the federal level. It was also all supposed to come from the states. So the two senators from each state were supposed to be nominated and selected by the legislature of the state. So the states had a say in what was going on in Washington. You know, the 10th Amendment specifically says that, you know, the federal government is only allowed to do what the Constitution says it can do, and everything else is left to the states. And to ensure that the states continued to have their hand on the wheel, they allowed the states to select the senators. Well, the 17th Amendment changed that and made it so the people elect the senators. And at that point, you know, the states had no say anything in anymore. There wasn't anything they could do. Yeah, I would agree there. Get the lobbyists. If you've been in politics, you can't be a lobbyist. I've done all right with the weather. I mean, I don't like to be out in the hot too much. Um, you know, but the beauty is I got the pool, and that ties into Tracy's question. Yes, the pool is running much better. Ever since I replaced that GFCI plug, I haven't tripped a breaker since. So, so yeah, the pool's running much better. I have not had a problem with the pump. The pump is running all the time. It's very efficient. And so, yeah, the pool's in good shape. The only thing I got to deal with now is I got to top it off about once a week because it's so hot the water's evaporating. Did I do well in social studies? No, no, I was horrible. I wasn't interested in that. I got interested in it when I grew up. Yeah, but the people already have a voice in the form of Congress, the House of Representatives. The Senate was supposed to make sure that the states had all the power. And the second the 17th Amendment was passed, the federal government began growing and growing and growing because there's nothing the states could do to limit it. Yeah, I mean that's another thing, Elvis, is that the you're right. The Supreme Court is writing law. That's not their job. That's the House's job. The hot weather is okay. I mean, like I said, I stay in the house mostly, and I have the pool if I'm going to be outside. I wasn't really a good student in anything when I was young. I didn't really kind of become interested in things until I got into adulthood. Now I'm a science wonk too, Rhonda. There's certain things I love. I love astronomy. I love geology, to some level meteorology. No, I wasn't really interested in any of that, Darth. I'm more into a little bit more into history now, but yeah, that was a bad thing when we pulled ourselves off the gold standard. Graduated in the top 3% of your class and became a hairstylist. I know somebody like that who was like a rocket scientist in terms of what she did in school, and then she became a roofer. Your teachers were disappointed. You got to do what you love, though. Whatever. Yeah, I was a marginal student. You know, in elementary, junior high, high school, even in college. I barely graduated from college. I just didn't find anything that really was that interesting to me. Only when I got out in the real world did I really start getting into things. I think early on I had a difficult time believing in myself, and so that kind of you know affected me. But when I got out into the real world, when I got into the CD world, and just started growing and growing and growing and getting better and smarter and more knowledgeable and more experienced and could do more and more and more, it just let me know that yeah, maybe I'm not the idiot that I think I am. And that led me well through the compact disc world. It didn't get me anywhere at Disneyland, which was really frustrating. But you know, one of the things that came with Disney World or Disneyland is that it taught me my work ethic because things came to me so easy that I didn't really have to work for them. And so working at a company that didn't appreciate me, made me just work harder and harder and harder. And that, if there's one positive thing to say about the whole Disney misadventure is it did find my work ethic and it set me up for the successes I'm seeing now at my current job. Logan's going to be a whale doctor. All right. I guess I have my moments. Yeah, that's one of the things that bugs me about this student loan payout thing. You go out and you take out tens of thousands of dollars to get a worthless degree. Why should I pay that back? I mean, a degree in philosophy. What are you going to do with that? Nursing, that's a real skill. Engineering's a real skill. Gender studies, what do you do with that? The only thing you're qualified to do with the gender studies is teach gender studies at a college. Well, if you're studying Egyptian hieroglyphics, if that's just a hobby, that's great. I have no problem with that. Just don't make me pay for it. I paid off my own college. I studied to be a recording engineer, and I never became a recording engineer, but it did get me into the compact disc world. But nothing I really learned in recording engineering school, uh, you know, meant anything because at the time I was doing the recording engineering training, everything was analog, and You know, the only thing the recording engineering degree got me is I just happened to be in the right place at the right time when somebody walked in the door and says, "Hey, I work for a compact disc factory. We're looking for somebody that could come work here. Do you know anyone?" And I was right there. And yeah, and the only reason I took I did take a couple classes in geology, and that's really where I got my interest in it. But it was more from it was I had to take a science for at the time I was thinking I was going to go for a computer science degree, and I was going to transfer over to Cal State Fullerton in Southern California, but I decided to take a lot of the basic classes at a community college, and a couple of them were a couple of geology classes, and I really love those, and that really kind of set me up as loving, um, geology. But right now it hasn't made me any money. It's cost me money because I keep going and buying rocks like this one. That's the mineral that's on the cover photo, by the way. Something I recently picked up that was pretty cool. I've been looking at this piece for a while, so I wanted to get that. And I got this piece. This is called aquamarine. It's a crystal that's got a beautiful blue tint to it. Definitely like that one. And I got this thing. This is just a piece of what they call clear quartz, but it kind of comes in this cube shaped. And there's certain angles, if you look at it, there's kind of a rainbow tint to it. You got to get the light just right, though. But that was a cool piece. Yeah, I studied telecommunications a little bit too. You got your doctorate in archaeology and your surname is Jones. How awesome. Darth Jones, right? Yeah, I know. My geology interest has cost me a lot of money, but it's also nice. It's the first time in a long time I've had a little bit of expendable income because I'm doing pretty good at work. And I got something else brewing that's going to probably increase my salary a bit. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the next month or two. Well, I love looking at them, and so that's it gives me joy to have it. And the truth is, a lot of the pieces I have are investments, so it's they'll hold their value. Yeah, I'm going to build some sort of a case for it. I got something in my head. I'm kind of still working on the details, so at some point we'll take you along that journey. Yeah, I want to do that too. I got some vacation time built up now, and I do want to go on a road trip of some sort. Rhonda's checking out. Yeah, we're almost done here. We'll be done in a few minutes. Goodbye, Charlotte. Goodbye, Logan. Goodbye, Jessica. Goodbye, Rhonda. Goodbye, Toxic Twins. And everyone at the Sear Menagerie. All right, Rhonda's gone, so you guys are going to have to pick up the slack now. I got just a little bit water left here. Now there's no water left. Yeah, we had a good chat today. We were all over the road, talked about all sorts of fun things, but no, what's coming is just it's just the next step in the evolution, I think. We'll see. The job has been very profitable. I've made good moves in the company, so I think this is just the next one. I think it'll be a good one, and I think I will do well at it. Yeah, that's an awful long ways to go for a museum though to Boston. I might drive that distance to go go to a national park, someplace I could spend a few days. Yeah, with recipes like that, I like to stay pretty true with the recipe itself, and there weren't a whole lot of ingredients in there. Um, I finished up the last of the fish this morning for breakfast, and I did actually augment it a little bit to get a little bit more flavor out of it. I have some homemade salsa I made, and that's I added that to it when I heated it up again. It was pretty good. Like I said in that recipe, I probably would have added more of the crushed tomatoes, just because the cod was kind of flavorless. Couldn't eat fish for breakfast. I can eat anything for breakfast. Never even heard of smash burgers. Is that a fast food place? Oh no, you ask if I made smash burgers, so I guess it isn't a fast food place if I'm making it myself, right? I went to Mount Rushmore when I was a kid. Everyone says it's great, retains degrees. Huh. All right. Well, on that note, we put in our 2 hours, so I'm going to pull the plug on this one. This was a great conversation. I'm glad we had this one today. I had fun. I hope you guys did too. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.